Welcome back to a video with 4 edges. If you want to see what's past this frame, you can use AI, or you can just simply peek in my window. About 6 months ago, I made this video. You should stop using the Lensa AI app. It was specifically about AI art, the Lensa magic avatars, and about how it was basically a palatable form of art theft. I was definitely a little more catastrophic about AI in that video than I am now. I believe there are merits to things like ChatGPT and benefits in developing code and software with AI features, but something about AI art still rubs me the wrong way, and I think it always will. Said even better here by Tom Grant on Twitter when he said, "I've been struggling to put this into words for a while, but I think a lot of this AI art craze comes down to these guys feeling the joy of being creative for the first time and mistaking it for something deeper." And I think that's what a lot of this is. In this tweet specifically, Tom is referencing the recent trend of AI generating the rest of a photo. There's no rest to a photo. It's just the photo. Like if you take a look at some of these album covers that were AI generated, you can see it looks normal until you take longer than 1 second to really look at them. Look at this dog. Or how about this car that's definitely not from the same era as the other cars? And this is true for all of them. Remember Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA? What if I told you his song was such a hit they decided to add a couple of states and colonies to the flag? That iconic Master of Puppets album cover? Yeah, it's actually a cute little cake, so pretty metal. And then it was taken one step further by taking some of the most famous paintings in history and seeing what they would look like if there was more painting, if it was a bigger painting. This is the Mona Lisa. Ever heard of it? Now here's what it would look like if it took place in the Lord of the Rings movies, and also if the bottom half of the Mona Lisa depicted a picture of my darkest nightmares. What if Van Gogh's gorgeous Starry Night piece had more stars? You ever see Nighthawks and think, damn, wish a Demogorgon worked at this bar? No, you didn't, so let me illustrate the issue. The Mona Lisa is the portrait of a woman named Lisa. It is a portrait of the wife of an Italian merchant, and was a commission that was meant to be a personal time capsule of, like, the joy of this woman. But with AI, the depths of hell loom ever closer. Starry Night is the depiction of Vincent van Gogh's emotions expressed through the view outside of his window while he was recovering from depression in a French asylum. It's more vibrant than his other paintings, and that contrast represents the feelings of shock. The lines in this painting are bold but wispy and ever turning and ever changing, representing what's going on in his head. But with AI, if you make this bigger, it's no longer the real view outside of his window. His observation is now not this image, and you have defeated the purpose of this painting. There's a story behind Nighthawks as well. It's about the isolation that a lot of people felt during wartime. A lot of people being quiet and to themselves and distant. But when with AI, you add 3 more people, the sort of people, it again completely defeats the purpose of the art. Now, do I think the people who are using this AI actually give a shit about the integrity of the story of the art? No, I don't. Honestly, most of them are just likely having fun with new technology, and I don't have a problem with that part of it. What bothers me, going back to Tom's tweet, is that these guys feel the joy of being creative for the first time and mistake it for something much deeper. Some of the people that create this AI art think they're contributing something greater than real artists. By building off of the existing beauty of these works, of the most famous works in history, they see themselves in a way as collaborating with the greats. They're not saying, what's the point of this art and how can I build on it and innovate upon it using my own creative voice? They're saying, look at this new technology and what I contributed to this work. Look how I made it more. Look how I made it better. Or even if they don't think it's better, they just think it's different. They feel like they contributed to the work. But it's not even a creation. They didn't create anything. And this is what bothers me so much about AI art, because there is a fundamental fact at play here that these people who create this art completely miss, which is that art is not the final product. Art is in part the process. Art is in part the person. But largely, art is the story. You know when you see those modern art paintings that are just like big color blocks and you're like, why was this $10,000? I could do this. Well, congrats, I've done the same thing. And we're right, in a sense, that we could paint these things. We could paint them down to the stroke, but it would not be the same art, because it would not be the same story, because art is not the final product. Let me show you a painting. This is one of the color block paintings I'm talking about. You probably don't feel much looking at it. You know, it's colors, we get it. You could paint that. Who cares? But let me tell you the story about why these color block paintings exist. According to some of the artists who work on color block paintings like this, the goal is to achieve the sublime rather than the beautiful. To be big and be bold and be grand in vision. To free yourself from the props and nostalgia and association that we typically create when we look at traditional, usually Western European paintings. These color block paintings are meant to be seen up close. One of the most famous artists in the field has gone on record as saying, "I paint big to be intimate." These are raw, simple, intimate, abstract expressions of emotion that simply could not be conveyed by a realist painting. It may not be beautiful, but it is both intimate and grand. Now look at this painting again. You may not have a life-changing experience, but I bet you feel a little different knowing the story. To make art is not to try to understand what makes the final product good. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Art is subjective. To make art is to try to understand what makes your art yours. That's it. AI art prioritizes the final product. I know I've said that a lot. It makes sure that we know that it looks good enough or that it looks better or whatever the goal is. But real art has intention behind it. The edges of a painting or a photograph or a video end for a reason, whether that's composition or lighting or tone or whatever. AI art looks at that intention through a non-artistic lens and says, what if I made that? What could I do to make this look different? Instead of encouraging artists to look inward and inspire them to create something themselves. So when Tom Gran says the AI art craze comes down to these guys feeling the joy of being creative for the first time and mistaking it for something much deeper, or when I say that AI art is not creative, this is what is meant. There is no story in AI art. There's no heart. There's just shortcuts and empty images. So again, like in my last video about Lensa, I don't want to leave you here with no action items. So let me say this. There are ways to ethically source art, like paying real artists. Or if you feel the draw of creativity and you don't want to relinquish that to another artist, empower yourself to create. Take classes, learn theory, or just spend 25 years drawing superheroes like I did. But if AI is a passion of yours, you have every right to pursue that. There are a lot of positives that I see in AI, especially in like the accessibility or workflow sectors. And I think it deserves to be explored. 100%. Maybe there's even room for it in artistic fields, but I don't think the goal should be trying to improve existing art or to replace existing art. Because honestly, I think that's a lost cause. I don't think that can happen. Because art is art. Things that are art, and things that are not art are not. And AI, sad to say it, is not art. Anywho, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to check out my other videos if you like this one. Leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on AI, specifically AI art, like as a medium. Does it have a place outside of like crude image generation? I don't know, so tell me. Anywho, until next time, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not done so already. Be sure to hit that bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.